let's talk about rigs. Now, we kind of touched on this last time. But let's go through everything that's on your audio rig, starting with your PC. Well, your computer.
Okay.
Not your PC, your MacBook. Audio.
MacBook, yeah. So like, what I'm currently using?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll start with the actual gear. I'm using a Focusrite Scarlett 18i8, which you can probably see right there.
It's behind your mic. Yeah.
Which is not bad. I do plan, I think I'm going to sell that soon and get something a bit better.
Yeah.
I have the Motu interface. It's a hybrid interface. It's got like FireWire and USB. FireWire, that takes me back. And that is the, I think it's the 9. God, I can't remember the code. Anyway, it's a hybrid interface, and that's amazing. That's actually what I used for Friday night as well. I use that for anything that I need more than a couple of channels, because that's got really nice preamps, and it's got like, it's sick, but it's currently packed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking about getting a small Motu interface because I just love their stuff. But yeah, they're just going to these Atom F7s right here, which sound pretty cool. It's like the cheap man's A7s. Other than that, I'm just running a MacBook Pro with I've kind of got like a hub behind it, like a USB, like a Thunderbolt hub.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So that's how I extend my screen. And I've got a Thunderbolt drive here, which is my working drive, and then I also have a backup hard drive as well.
Yeah.
So that's 2 terabytes, which is all just my working stuff, it's kind of mixed audio for you. And then this is 6 terabytes, which is just backs everything up.
Yeah.
And then I've got my Akai Mini keyboard, which I pretty much use for everything synth-wise.
Nice.
And sometimes percussion. Depends how I feel, how lazy I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I've actually still got the stickers on that from the other night, because I actually labeled the Tiny Mountain. I actually use this as a MIDI controller for the tracks.
That's cool.
Night. So you can actually see that I MIDI mapped all of the commands.
That's
and cool. I was using Mainstage for the backing tracks on Friday.
Oh yeah.
Cool. It's like pretty new. I only just bought Mainstage, which is, I like it. It works. And people don't really use it for backing tracks, but it works for me. I kind of figured it out and it worked really well. So
you can do multi-track out.
That again. Yeah,
that's cool.
Multi-track out. Back end of it looks just like Logic, so it all just kind of clicked with me and made sense.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it for my audio setup. It's not really complicated at all.
Well, what's can you tell me about your like what specs you got on that Mac, if you know them?
Off the top of my head, it's got 8 gig of RAM. It's a pretty old MacBook, actually.
What year?
It's 2013.
2013, so 7 years old.
Yeah.
Hell
so
yeah.
It's got 8 gig of RAM, which is a lot for back then.
Yeah.
And it's only got 250 gig of SSD, which is the worst. I wish I had considerably more than that.
Oh, 250
even just
gig.
to update, I just literally updated to Catalina today, and I had to delete so much stuff.
Oh.
They're like, Catalina's only 8 gig to upgrade, and then you go to do it. It's like, but we need an additional like 4 gig more to actually put it on your computer. And I'm like, oh my god,
that's cool.
So I go through and just delete like all this old shit.
That's fucked.
Yeah, kind of shitty, but like other than that, the MacBook's great, and I would buy another one in a heartbeat if I had the money.
If you have the money.
If I had the money.
They are expensive.
For everything. Oh
yeah.
The Neumann TLM 102.
Nice.
Just kind of traditionally a voiceover mic, but I don't give a shit about being traditional.
No, so that's what you use for your vocals?
Yep.
Nice.
That is every track I've done.
Gone through that.
Yeah. Every Tiny Mountain track, every Tiny Vessels track.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, so that's pretty much me, man. My audio setup's pretty simple. I like to keep it simple. So I just want to get some better preamps. But it's always a money thing, and right now it's pretty hard. Other than that, It's just my motor interface. With I've extended that with an ADAT as well, like a Behringer ADAT unit. So it's 16 channels, that interface now with 16 outs.
Cool.
Other than that, I've got a little portable recorder just like yourself.
It's actually
a shitload of mics.
Berkey. It's actually a 102, not a 103. It's the smaller version.
Yeah, 103 is a bigger capsule. I think. Yeah, it's a bigger mic actually.
Yeah.
It was actually quite small. As you can see.
And so the rig that you're on right now, the computer that you're running, that's a PC that you use for your video stuff. Is that right?
The one I'm working on now, yes.
Yeah.
It's my video machine, yeah.
Got any specs on that you want to tell us about?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably people watching this that have better specs than me, but this is pretty old too. It's definitely running an i7. I could probably bring up the specs right here. This would be super easy if I can figure out Windows 10. I literally just upgraded this today
to Windows 10.
Yeah, I know. I was on Windows 7 forever, like a dinosaur, and I thought, you know what, it's time.
Got to push it up.
It's time. Well, yeah. It's starting to affect my workflow because I can't update programs and shit anymore. So I was just like, all right.
I mean, Windows 10 has been out for quite a while.
Oh yeah, but my computer just worked, mate.
It just
so
works.
I didn't have to touch it until it didn't work. So then I had to. So I got an i7 2600 with 3.4 gigahertz processor, 16 gig of RAM. I've got a 250 gig solid state, which I'm running my C drive off of, and then I've got like a 2 terabyte hard drive plus. I've got like another 4 terabyte backup.
Oh, nice.
I've got like heaps of external drives, but yeah, I've got a graphics card as well, which is GTX 970, which is pretty mid-range, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know anything about graphics cards.
Yeah,
being a Mac.
I would love to get a better one, but for now, it does me fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, how about you, Mang? Let's do you.
All right, my rig. So I'm running a 2017 MacBook Pro, and when at the time of buying it, so it's a 15-inch with the touch bar and all that kind of stuff. At the time of buying it, I spec'd it out as high as I could, except the only thing I didn't spec out was I got the 1 terabyte hard drive, not the 2 terabyte, because I think getting 2 terabytes at the time was an extra $900 on top of it. But I spec'd it out every other way.
Get that in any other hard drive. It's like $100 now for an extra terabyte.
Oh,
less.
Yeah. No, not worth getting. But yeah, it was probably, man, I can't talk enough about how much I love this computer. This is probably my favorite thing that I've ever purchased. It's my favorite instrument. It does everything for me. So that's what I'm running on right now. I wish I could show you this. I could probably turn... Nah, I won't turn the camera around. But I got that running into... I got a second screen up here, which is a 27-inch just shitty screen that kind of gives me some love. I got a pair of KRK V6 monitors, which are on stands behind my desk there. They give me all my monitoring, except for I also have a sub, which is a Yamaha HS8S.
That sounds so sick.
Oh, love it.
Probably one of the things I get soon, I reckon.
Yeah, man, it's solid sub, and like, I was thinking like, oh, do I want a 10-inch? Do I want a 12-inch? And I was like looking at all the specs. Man, if I ever take this thing to its limit, like, I got to get shot because it is so loud. Like, it is amazingly loud. I don't think I could ever use it as hard as it could probably be used. My favorite thing, you won't be able to see this, but I got an Arturia, what is it? Keylab 61, which is my MIDI controller. Probably my second favorite thing I've bought. It's got like a bunch of drum pads, really good MIDI capabilities, good integration, and I run a lot of the Arturia synthesizers and samplers and stuff, and that integrates so well with that. So really stoked with that. Running my MacBook into a Apogee Duet as my interface, which again, really solid unit.
Nice choice.
Backup hard drive wise, I got two Lacy Ruggeds. One of them is just my regular hard drive, which I use as a working drive. 2 terabyte, and I got a 4 terabyte, which acts as my like proper backup drive, which does all my time machine and all that kind of stuff. So quite a bit of processing going on there. I'm trying to think of what else I got back here. That's probably the majority of it, eh? I'm just looking around my room. Microphone wise, I got this guy, which Brad was talking about before. This is a Aston microphone, which I got the Aston grill and cradle for. It's the Origin, which is
real nice.
$450 microphone. I love it. I reckon it sounds great. Does everything you need to do. Oh man!
Is it bothering all the audio techs that are watching this that like my Neumann's just like sitting behind me and I'm using a $150 Rode mic?
Well, I mean it is a podcast mic, and this is technically a podcast. So
that's right. But there must be someone in there just like, why isn't he just using the Neumann?
Why don't you
What's wrong with him? Like the first one.
Put the Neumann in.
Because I think my PC, Actually, I think the first podcast, my PC was backing up. It took like 3 days to back this up.
And so you ran...
I wanted to...
I was going to say, you ran the first one off the other computer, yeah?
The first podcast, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I always use this for my video stuff, even like podcasting or video calling or whatever.
Yeah.
But this was backing up then, so I couldn't risk it.
Yeah.
And I have so much shit on this computer that it took like 2 or 3 days to actually... back it all up.
Yeah.
Like, I think I almost filled up it's like a 4 terabyte drive or something. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Other gear. I don't know if the desk I'm using. I mean, I got the desk that I have now for free because when I moved into the house, they just left it here. So free desk. I got another computer as well that I do my video stuff on, but instead of being a really cool PC that is like, capable of all this shit, I am using a 2009 MacBook Pro that I bought back then new, and that runs all of my video stuff and has been absolutely like destroyed in terms of like I've replaced the battery twice. I've replaced the thermal paste the other day. I've got rid of the CD drive and put a solid state in there. It's just been through so much abuse, but it still is killing it. So an 11-year-old MacBook is just like that runs all my video stuff. Actually, that's what I'm live streaming on right now.
Yeah, that's sick.
Which is pretty cool.
That's really interesting. So you've got it all plugged into the old MacBook.
Well, no, so the old that one's running like the YouTube side of the stream. Like I've got the camera and stuff going through my new MacBook, but then I've got that one doing the actual stream stuff, and I've got the comment section running on that one. So
sick.
Oh, acoustic treatment.
Speaking of which, what's going on over there?
Yeah, if you record your fucking tiny mountain Vox on a pod mic, I'll shoot you, says Berkey.
Noted.
All right. So don't get shot. Don't piss off Berkey. Why can't I? I can't like look at the comments. It's not letting me scroll. How often do you back up? That's a good question.
It is a good question. I try. I mean, I'm not the greatest with backing up. I try and do it at least once a week. That's like, in my opinion, not enough.
Do
But
you
I'm
run
like,
Time
I'm
Machine?
not that busy. I do.
Well, then, doesn't that backs up automatically?
Yeah, I've turned that off.
Oh, so you
Which-
make it so you have to select it.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just because sometimes, like, I don't know, some people choose times that they know they're going to be asleep or whatever to do backups or whatever. But, like, sometimes I'll be writing, till 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, sometimes I'll get an idea happening and I'll be recording it from midnight till 4 o'clock in the morning. And the last thing I want is a backup to start while I'm trying to, like, jot down some ideas or whatever. So
I would look
I
at.
just turned automatic off, and I just kind of, once a week.
I
just
would
do a
look.
backup
I think
whenever
it does.
I'm
It
using
doesn't do it like it used to do it. It backs up like behind what you're doing. Like so, mine backs up. Mine's probably backed up in the time that we've been talking. Like it does it
Okay.
all like behind other things. It doesn't mess with your flow.
My computer's probably half the computers that yours is.
True.
But
True.
either way, I just don't like to risk that kind of shit. So
No, that's fair. So you, well, actually, this is an interesting topic backing up because I do that. I just have mine running on a Time Machine to my 4 gig hard drive all the time. But the other day, I thought if my apartment burns down or someone comes in and steals all my shit, it doesn't matter how much I've backed it up. It's all going. Yeah. So I bought a 1 terabyte, was it? I think it was 1 terabyte hard drive for $90 or whatever. Well, actually, I think it was cheaper. I think it was like $60. Backed up all.
Pretty good price, actually.
Yeah, I just backed up all my sessions and like all the important stuff that I need in my life, and like put it all on that drive, and then took it to your house, and gave it to you because I thought, like, even if my apartment burns down or whatever, I won't have everything. Like I didn't back up everything, but at least I'll have all my sessions, which is probably the most important stuff. Like if I can get that shit back.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think
I need to do the same when I eventually buy another hard drive.
Yeah, and I'll probably, what I'm thinking about doing is doing that every like probably every month, maybe less, every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, buy another hard drive and then just swap you, and just so that we like. I'm just scared. Like, there's so much work into all the all this stuff that we do, and if our house burns down, it's gone. Actually, do you know when I thought about
all the gear's replaceable, but the stuff inside of it isn't. Yeah.
When I thought of that is when I was watching the Tiger King, and you know how he burns down his fucking the thing, he loses all the footage. That's when I thought of it. I was like, my apartment could burn down. I should like take this to a place where it's not gonna be doing anything. Unlimited cloud backup, $6 a month. I mean, that's probably a good idea. We should probably do that.
How's Brad? You guys should build a cute matching NAS server and have them replicate to each other.
I mean,
yeah, can you do it for me, Brad?
Yeah, hook us up, fam. Actually, that's probably a good idea.
Time.
What? Yeah,
it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Thought of a cloud backup service.
Yeah, or just like back up over the internet.
Thought about it. Do any of you guys know any for a reasonable price? Like, I know that Rick said $6 a month.
Yeah.
But what is that? Elaborate.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely have thought about it.
$6 a month, I would pay that. That's cheap.
Unlimited that is pretty cheap. I'd back up to that.
Yeah.
What do you say? Backblaze.
My Google account is more like, I think I pay like $40 a year for Google, and I got 100 gig, which is like nothing compared to that.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Good stuff. All right, so we know you got a Mac, right, and we know you got that kind of setup. Why? Can you answer why on a lot of the stuff that you bought? Was it like convenience at the time? Because I've got a fairly good story about my wires, but like, do you have any like any reason specifically for any of your gear?
The MacBook I've got because I wanted something portable.
Yep.
And I had been through about 2 or 3 Mac PC laptops, and they had an average lifespan of like 2 or 3 years, and they would just be completely dead.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go with Apple this time, and just like really spoil myself, and haven't been let down. It's still going strong, so
yeah,
it's like a testament to their product.
It's pretty amazing that's what 7 years old, and it's still your main audio laptop. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But as to like why I bought everything else, like I bought that 8-channel Moto interface to record like the spin set albums back in the day. That's basically why I bought those. But nothing is really like, it was just like slow upgrades.
Yeah,
I
okay.
guess. Never really bought them. The Neumann mic I bought for a purpose because I used to run an NT1, just the Rode NT1, and I had that microphone for forever. That was my first mic. But eventually, I was actually, one of my friends, Amy, who's in Stonefield, called me, and they needed to record all of their backup vocals for one of their albums. It was a couple of albums ago. And I'm like, there's no way that I'm recording that on an NT1.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a great excuse for me to go out and get the mic that I've been buying off for months anyway.
Yep.
So that's like the reason I went out and got that, which sounded great and worked incredibly well with female vocals because it's got that really like nice top end. It's not harsh, but
yeah, it's like sizzling almost.
But it's like nice. Yeah, but it's smooth at the same time. So it doesn't sound harsh, which is really, really cool. That's like pretty much the only purpose thing I've really kind of got. Like I was like, I need it for that reason, and then went and got it. Yeah. Other than all I've got so much drum stuff.
Oh, we haven't even started talking about drum stuff,
dude. That's like probably like my most specialized area, I would say.
Dude, let's start talking about drum stuff.
Yeah. Which album, Trav? Are you talking about which Stonefield album? Yes, he is. Let me find the name. Because they've done so many now, I can't remember off the top of my head. That was quite a few years ago now.
I'm just ducking to grab something real quick.
No worries, mate. I've got this, mate. Don't you worry about it. It was... Sorry, bear with me.
Sleep by Stonefield is a fucking tune, says not Daniel.
I think... Ah, God, sorry.
It's all good. While you search that, I'm going to tell the reason behind why I bought most of my stuff.
Yes, please.
So in 2018, I moved to Canada for 1 year. And part of the process of moving to Canada, I went there with my wife. We sold everything that we owned. And I sold like all my guitars, sold like all of our furniture, our bed. Like when we left for Canada, we literally owned what we took with us, and that was 1 suitcase, 1 snowboard bag, 2 backpacks, and what was it? And a handbag, and that was it. Like we could literally carry everything we owned, which was incredible because we'd accumulated so much shit over our time that we had about like a 3-bedroom house full of shit, and we got rid of it all. And part of that downgrade was getting rid of a lot of my gear. And so I had like a full studio set up, A7s, a rack of guitars. I had interfaces, preamps, a mic locker that could pretty much do anything you wanted to do. I pretty much had it all. But I didn't really need it because most of it wasn't getting used. So I purged all of that stuff. And part of the process of going to Canada is I wanted to get a setup that could be taken anywhere. And so when I sold everything, I bought a brand new setup with everything having the intention that it could be put in a backpack and taken anywhere, and I could have a recording set up wherever I want. And so I got my MacBook Pro, which I went from I had a tower, like a proper tower Mac before I got this. So that was like this, like a bit of an upgrade because it was a lot newer, but like, you know, getting rid of a tower is quite intense. I went from having like a Fireface 800, which is, you know, rack unit interface, down to my Apogee Duet. Went from I sold my A7 X's Adams and my subwoofer, and got a pair of, we've talked about this before, the iLoud micro monitors, which are just the most incredible cheap monitor that you can get. I won't go into that because we talked about that last time. I had this big 88 key MIDI interface / thing, and I bought this, which is my MIDI controller, which is actually one of the best pieces of gear I think I've ever bought. It's it's actually insane. It's like a 2-octave keyboard thing with pads and XY and all this kind of stuff, and it Bluetooths to your computer. So like you can just like throw it anywhere. It's so thin and like easy to use.
Awesome.
That was what I made most of my beats on until I got the big keyboard back again. Or got
so cool.
New one. Sold all my microphones and got this tiny little Aston. Everything was just like super small, super compact. And I bought everything with the idea that it, like, anything that was unnecessary, I tried not to get. So the reason I got the Apogee Duet is because it didn't require an external power supply. It was just powered off USB, and just shit like that. And that really kind of tightened my setup down. I mean, I've expanded it again since I've gotten back to Australia, but that was like, that was why I bought most of the stuff that I got. And and
it's such a sick setup.
Yeah.
Like, and having played around on your setup, it sounds sick.
Oh, it's just,
it all works really well.
It's just good fun. Like,
that album, by the way, just before I forget, it's called Far From Earth.
Far From Earth.
Yeah, that was the album that we worked on. Yeah.
Is that the one that has what's it called, Sleep on it?
Sleep. No, although it does have a song called Sleepy Head.
Oh, there you go.
I just remember one of the tracks in particular, Through the Storm, was the one that like got me going. I really liked that one.
Nice.
I remember when we recorded the backup vocals, there was quite a bit going on there. It was like really cool. If you like your kind of rock psychedelic stuff.
Oh, I remember when we were wasted and we saw him at St Kilda Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, that was good.
Oh shit! Yeah,
hey, actually, not Daniel was there as well.
Yeah, Daniel was there.
Yeah. There you
You're
go.
welcome, Berkey.
So, what was the next thing?
Drums.
Drums. No, it was drums. Oh, wait.
Were you going to move on to any other gear that you were going to talk about?
I think that's all of my setup. Like, I can't think of anything else that I've got here that...
Can't think of anything else that you have.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
I'm sure stuff will come to me. We'll just keep going around in circles talking shit.